A-10 tournament this weekend. So about our preparation for that and how we prepare for not knowing quite who will play just yet.
The first part of the week is all about us. Let's see how much better we can get in the next 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I told our guys yesterday when we met as a team that I still think we can get better even this time of the year. I think we've really improved the last few weeks. I think if we approach that the next 3 days, we get a little bit better for the tournament. As preparing for sort of the unknown until we know who wins the game on Thursday, we'll work a little bit on both teams. But right now it's about us and what we can do the next 3 days of getting better and preparing for the weekend.
Not that it hasn't helped you in the regular season, but is 3 games in 3 days in a tournament setting exactly where your depth will really play a big difference?
I hope so, and it's been an advantage all year long. But to have, if that's the scenario, so be it, and let's take great pride in that and how hard we can play every second we're out there for 3 straight days. 1 game at a time, 1 day at a time, but that Army approach for a 40-minute game has to be one of our strengths.
How much of a benefit is it that you guys have kind of played with a target on your back as the leaders for several weeks now, going up there where you're obviously the target?
Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of people still not picking us to win the tournament, so so be it. I think we've had an approach all year long of from last season that we have to be who we are, and one thing we talked about is being the hunters all the time, and I think that's the way I portrayed a lot of things this year for our guys. I think that's the one way I motivated these guys this year is that last year it was a tough year, but it was a great growing year. But just because you're at VCU doesn't mean you're going to win. And when we play with an edge and we play with a fire in our bellies, I think that's an advantage for us. So, that's something I want to make sure we replicate anytime we go into a 40-minute game. Is let's go after people, even though they want to beat us. It's our mentality over anyone else's.
Do you take the approach that it's a whole new season, that what you guys have already done almost doesn't matter at this point?
No, I don't. I know people say that, but I don't. All the experiences we've had all spring, all summer, all fall, a typical black versus gold scrimmage in September, all that stuff adds up to who we are. And of course, all the experiences through the season for the coaching staff, for our players, for our young guys, for our leaders, all that stuff comes into play. And, yeah, I understand why people say that. I get it, because this could change your season if you're playing well or if you're not playing well, whatever. But I think all the experiences make you who you are going into a weekend like this or going into March Madness, and we're going to use all those experiences. And I'm big on that. I'll bring up something that occurred in a December non-conference game in the next couple days, or the last 2 minutes of the game at Rhode Island, or the first 10 minutes of the game against LaSalle. Like, those things I'm going to use as learning tools for our guys to be prepared for this weekend. So, yeah, no, I mean, I think all the experiences make you who you are. Well, I'm using those without a doubt.
One guy's had a big impact on the team this year. I only used double figures in scoring, but Santos Silva. Yeah. What's the difference between him last year and this year?
A lot of work, maturity, without a doubt. He's just matured as a young man. I think the biggest growth a player can have is between their freshman and sophomore year, if they get out of their own way. If not, it's usually between their sophomore and junior year. He got out of his own way and just went to work. And we've all been there some point in our college careers as an athlete that you finally say, I have to do this if this is where I want to go. And I think he's done a remarkable job of just working really hard and getting his reps in. And he's always in the gym. He works on his game. He works on his body. He's disciplined with his body and his approach of taking care of himself. And he plays really, really hard, and now he has a game to back that up. So that's been the biggest change with him, is just a little more maturity and a greater work ethic.
Did he remake his body in the last season or so this season?
the summer he got here as a freshman, he lost, I think it was like 42 pounds. And as much as he lost body fat or baby fat, whatever you want to call it, he gained so much muscle, and his body fat percentage, I mean, he just lost so much of that. And then this past off season, I thought he did a great job on the track and in workouts of fighting fatigue. And when you do that over a course of a period of time, I think you realize, man, I could really push my body, and he learned that. And it's been pretty impressive to watch how hard he works and then how quick he can recover to get back out there.
And the things he does inside for you are incalculable for somebody.
Yeah, you know what? He can score one-on-one in the post. He can rebound on both ends. He runs the floor very well. And I think, people don't talk about this because it's the X and O part of it, but he is a great roller. When we set all these ball screens and these random ball screens, he's a great roller to a finisher, or he rolls and creates so much attention other guys get open. That's not on the stat sheet, but that's on my stat sheet. He does that at a great pace of the game, and he does that all the time. And then, as the year got on, he's increased some of his ability with the ball. I think he's doing a great job. People are trapping him now and doubling him in the post, and he's getting guys shots. He did that the other day, passing out of double teams. That's hard for a young underclassman to do, and he's doing it. And then I think he's coming up with loose balls and effort plays that have been sort of the foundation of who we are this year.
Not the biggest post guy, but does he play bigger than his?
Oh, absolutely. He's long arms, big hips, big shoulders. I mean, he's not afraid to be physical.
We're talking about growth in players. You mentioned that this year been one of your most enjoyable years as a coach, coming off a year last year that you thought was one of the toughest defensively. So, you coached for over 20 years, but how have you grown as a coach this year in a year like this?
I think what I've enjoyed the most of this year is watching our guys mature. Of course, when you're winning, it's always a good year, without a doubt. Anyone that helps for the enjoyment part. But just watching some of these guys really mature on and off the court, but throughout the year, of if they make a mistake, owning it and moving on and keep playing for the good of the team. I've seen that a lot this year, and you see that and you bring that up a lot. I think a lot of our guys on our team have really done that at a high level, and I think that helped us a lot, especially in league play. I think that when you're coaching, there's certain things that are very, very important to you that sometimes go beyond basketball and the court. And when your players start talking about it and then start doing that and holding each other accountable, that's the joy part of it for me. And last year we had moments where, it's like any program with a new coach, you have moments that, all right, it's coming, and then it's a big step backwards, and then 2 steps forward and a step back. And I thought that was a lot, but I knew last year that the guys are trying to do the right thing. They're not there yet to do it consistently. I thought our guys with maturity this year and their approach, they dropped feelings. They got rid of the noise. They were all in on helping VCU win and do it the right way, and they realized for themselves that's the right way. And so that maturity part, that was the joy for me. As growth for me, I don't know. I always think I could get a lot better and keep doing more for the guys, but I think as you continue to coach, you find different ways to reach guys, because 18 to 22-year-olds are always changing. Right now I think young people are more sensitive than ever before, and are easily embarrassed in front of others. I always think that you got to find a different approach to reach them. The old school approach of just yelling at them and screaming at them, that's over. That doesn't work. You know, I'm not demeaning our guys, but I'm going to be demanding of them. I think you got to grow. I think I grew a lot in the last 2-3 years of that. I played for old school coaches. And so that's what you know. But working for Shaka and talking to different coaches and different people that work with kids all the time, you got to find different ways to reach them. I think I've taken a whole different approach with that since I've been back here, that I'm going to find different ways all the time. So I think that's helped us, and it's helped me reach these guys to a different level.
What was the first thing, coming off last year, what was the first thing you did, coming off the end of the year, heading to the offseason, just looking back at the year, kind of your first step, heading into the offseason and the summer workouts and everything like that?
I just made sure we had some absolutes, that we're going to work harder. We're going to play defense. We're not going to allow noise to affect us moving forward. And not that it was awful last year. It needed to get better. And that one thing I've always said about my 10 years at Randolph-Macon, we didn't beat ourselves a lot. It was very rare that we beat ourselves. If you were going to beat any of our teams, you had to really come to play and beat us. I thought sometimes last year we beat ourselves, and I didn't want that to happen anymore.
Like, there's so much talk about bracketology and how many bids leagues are going to get and stuff. You guys obviously, again, have a target on your back, but what's your sense of if something goes wrong up in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
What's your status like in your mind as far as like the NCAA tournament?
Well, everybody, I haven't looked at a lot. I honestly, I've been, I guess on purpose, not really looking and following numbers. Once in a while, I've done here and there. I haven't done recently. If we keep winning, we're going to be there. People are saying we're there. Whatever happens this weekend, it's going to be an awesome moment for this team to play in the NCAA tournament. And we're going to celebrate that no matter what happens. If we win this tournament, or if we don't win this tournament, we're going to celebrate the team's success of being in the NCAA tournament. And they deserve that. Most teams that win the regular season A-10 championship play in the NCAA tournament and are probably still a really tough team to play against the NCAA tournament. And we're going to take great pride in that no matter what happens this weekend. Our guys deserve that part of it. As for things we can't control, what we can control is prepare, and then if our name gets called on Sunday, prepare again and see if we can get better for whoever we play.
With the possibility of 3 games in 3 days, how much do you have, obviously you play 9 to 10 guys, how much could that change? Do you look back at the previous matchups, maybe if Corey had a bigger game or Vince had a big game, how much, I guess, styles make fights? How much does it change?
You look at matchups. Certain teams we play against, certain guys have a little more success than others, or better matchups. We can guard some guys a little differently with certain matchups. But to me, it's over a course of 3 games. If we're fortunate to play 3 games in a row, one of our strengths is how hard we can play over those 120 minutes. And the best way we can do that is by playing a lot of guys and really sub a lot and get the pace of all 3 games, at a great pace. I think that's been an advantage for us all year long. And I've been through it long enough too. And when I was an assistant, you would tell the head coach, "We got to get that guy. We got to pull that guy. We need to get him a rest." I think that's important. We want to do that on Friday and pull somebody just because we might have 2 other games if those guys never played meaningful minutes that are on the bench. Our bench has played meaningful minutes all year long, so it's just what we do, and I think it's an advantage for us. So we're going to use that army and use that bench, and guys are experienced enough to perform even in a conference tournament. And if we play really, really hard for 3 straight days, that's an advantage no matter who we play.
Do guys really get that tired? I mean, they come from AAU where they play all freaking day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a great question. Well, it depends. Are you walking the ball up the court? Are you getting denied? Are you getting trapped? A lot of people say they can play 38, 35 plus minutes, but it's the style of the play. A lot of guys can play 35 minutes if the defense is allowing you to walk the ball up the court and easily get into your offense and easily run your plays, and then you walk the ball up the court so you walk back on defense and you set your defense up. But if the pace is faster, it doesn't matter. I don't care who you are at any level. There's some type of exertion. It's just there's some type of fatigue that's going to take place. And we pride ourselves on seeing if the other team is pulling their shorts at the end of the game and going to knees, or the coach has to call a timeout, not because of what's going on in the game, but their teammates their players need a breather. I think that all is a cumulative effect for playing against us. And we gotta, if we're gonna play a lot of guys, why wouldn't we want the pace of the game? Because then we can just play at a faster pace and make it harder for some guys as the game goes on.
If you get in a game where you're comfortably ahead, are you comfortable enough to maybe call off the dogs a couple minutes before the end just to preserve?
No. Nope. No, it's just not us. If we get up, we're not pressing to run up the score. We're still pressing and denying and trapping, because that's just what we do. We do it in July. We do it in September. We do it in Christmas break. It's what we do. And we have a lot of guys that can do it, so why wouldn't we do it?
Do you think people are surprised by how quickly you got back to being able to do that with the amount of success you've been able to do it this year?
Well, I still don't think we do it at the point like Coach Smart's teams, where we do it a little differently. But I think we still have a pace of being aggressive on both sides of the court. So it's just it's a little different. But I don't know. That's probably, I knew what we were going to do, and we were going to try to do it. Part of it is in recruiting. Part is in developing players, and I think the biggest thing is getting everybody to buy into it. And the best thing about it, our guys bought into it. That, all right, now I might not play 21 minutes a game, but I'm going to play 16, but I'm going to play harder. And, boy, it's a lot of fun playing this way. I think guys bought into it. We have young guys. We have freshmen and sophomores that are playing a lot of minutes and right in the middle of the battles because of that style of play. I think it's great for morale. And it's hard to scout, too, because it's different than the rest of the league.
How much different is it than, when Shaka was here and there was a lot of talk about turnovers? It was kind of like the big number everybody looked at. And you guys still force a lot of turnovers, but your half-court defense and your scoring defense is way better than any of those teams.
Well, I played for some old-school coaches, especially working for Hal Nunley, and his biggest thing was you got to stop people in the half-court and quarter-court if you want to win a championship. And I've always believed that. But you can also pick people up full court and just make it so hard for 40 minutes. Now, I played for a high school coach where we pressed the whole game and sat down and shelled defense, and it's what we did, and it worked, and we won championships that way, so I always believed in that. What I loved when I got here with Coach Smart, we pressed that Randolph Macon, we picked up, but we didn't trap as much. So when I got here with Coach Smart and we really trapped a lot and caused turnovers, it created great morale because so many guys played. It was a hard scout. Teams that played us, no matter if they had a week or not, it's a hard scout because you can't really simulate that in practice every day to prepare. So that's a huge advantage. But I just always felt, when I worked for Coach Nunley, the emphasis was we can play so many different ways, but when it comes down to it and you want to win a championship, you got to stop a good team in half court. And that was frustrating to me last year because we couldn't do that consistently, and it really hurt us. And that was something I'm making sure a biggest part of our foundation is we're going to guard people and we're going to stop people. And the guys bought into it and believe in it.
At what point this week can you at least start a scout on a possible opponent?
Well, today we'll do some stuff on the two opponents that we might play. So we'll work on some things the next 3 days. But there's quick turnarounds, and it's still about us. We will prepare for our opponents, but it's about us. And and having our guys mentally right, their bodies right when the tip's up to go play our way. So, and we're always going to respect our opponent and prepare for them. In this setting, it's just a little different of having 2-3 days to prepare. It's a quick turnaround from finding out who we play, but we'll be prepared.
Were you and Mike Jones on Shaka's staff for a year?
No, 2 years. 2 years.
So his team had a really good season. You wanted Texas, they wanted Texas, they
Yeah.
wanted Notre Dame. Notre Dame might be off a little bit, but still winning at Notre Dame.
Absolutely.
Winning at Notre Dame. He lost yesterday, so it's really a long shot he'll get into the NCAA. Do you have any feelings on that, or I mean, do you feel badly for him?
Oh yeah, I was texting with him last night. I mean, he's as good of a coach Mike Jones is. He's even a better man. He's awesome. He's a great friend, great family. Yeah, that's the part of this time of year that's tough. It's tough to swallow. You feel bad for your buddies out there in the coaching world, and you know those are the guys you rely on for, you know, after a tough game or a great win, you hear from those guys and vice versa. But yeah, you get so close, and it doesn't go your way in the end. It's part of what we sign up for. It's not always easy to swallow, but it is part of it. And you know, the one thing I learned is the sun comes up the next day, and you gotta move on. It's tougher to move on when it's March, but that's what you got to do. And a guy like Mike Jones, I mean, he's going to handle it as gracefully as anybody because he has his feet on the ground, and he had a great year, and he makes it all about his team. So he's going to make sure his team's right over the next couple of days, and they'll be ready to whatever postseason play they're going to be in. He'll have them ready.
What more could he have done? He wins those 2 tough road games.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Davidson experience in the Southern Conference says even if he'd gone undefeated in the Big South and lost in the tournament, he still probably wouldn't have gotten the bid.
Yeah, that's the tough part of being in certain leagues, that no matter what, your regular season doesn't count. The leagues are the ones that make that decision because they have a conference tournament for the automatic bid. So that, you know, you already know what you sign up for when you go into the season. You make the regular season as best you can and to improve to get ready for that conference tournament, you know, without a doubt. And you try your hardest to create a non-conference schedule if you heat up, that, you know, it gives you a chance for, you know, for that at large. But it's really hard. It's really hard. You just got to find a way to win. You know, like it or not, black and white. You got to find a way to win. And if you don't, you're highly disappointed, and you feel for your players. But this is what we all sign up for.
You talked on Friday about obviously putting so much emphasis on defense in the summer. You felt like the guys were talented enough offensively that they could that would be okay. And obviously, you had a little bit of offensive struggles earlier in the season. How rewarding has it been then to see in conference play, particularly during this win streak, the offense started coming along and do what's that night? Yeah,
I just think it's been great to watch the guys. It's part of his maturing, and then I think they've done a great job holding each other accountable on the offensive end of not taking as quick as shots maybe or taking better shots, but really looking for each other. I think that's been the biggest thing. The other day we had 21 assists on, I think, 26 baskets, and that means they're playing the way I want them to play, keeping that ball hot, playing off of each other, getting each other opportunities. And when you do that, and I think, honestly, it starts with Marcus Evans, Isaac Van, and Dariante Jenkins. Those 3 guys are talented players. But when you see one of them driving, and they could shoot a floater or they could challenge a big guy at the rim, but they kick it out to one of their teammates and they have an open shot, or they shot fake and pivot to make sure that, you know what, I don't have anything. We're going to keep playing and keep putting the pressure on the defense. I just think they're holding each other accountable, and they see each other do it, and it sort of becomes contagious. And that's when we're at our best, without a doubt. And you know, the other day we threw the ball into Marcus Santos Silva a few times, and he felt pressure. He felt a little bit of a post trap, and instead of him forcing it, like, I got the ball, I got to make a play, he made the right play. He threw it to the open guy, and the open guy knocked it in or kept it moving. So that's playing the right way. That's the growth I think we've had from non-conference early in the year to now, that we're playing smarter, we're taking care of the basketball, and we're playing through each other. And it's hard to guard that way.
The last couple of weeks, you've gotten more and more points in the AP top 25. The possibility of cracking today, what does that kind of thing, you know, mean to you or to the team? You know, if you get that kind of recognition.
It's great for the players. You know, if you're a player and your team gets in the top 25, I think it's great. It's great for VCU and Ram Nation. They love that stuff. For me, you know, let's see where we can go from there. You know, I'm telling you, my approach all year long, and I'm proud of these guys. We talk about just keep getting better every day, and I challenge them on that. And you know, my dad used to say to me all the time, "I just want your best every day." Why can't we challenge our players to do that? You know, and you're not perfect. We're not going to be undefeated, and you're not going to make every shot. You're going to make some mistakes, but your best approach and your best effort every day, that's what I've been demanding of these guys, and they've been ringing the bell. And I still think at this time of year, I still think we can get better, and we're going to keep demanding their best approach and best effort every day. And I really believe in that, and these guys have backed me up on that as well. So being in the top 25 is awesome for VCU and these players. Let's see what we can do from there if that happens.
Is there any potential danger to that, though? You know, because that's kind of a...
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, you read the press clippings, right? You read the bulletin board, all that stuff, and people start banging their chests and how good we are. That's my job. I'll fix that. We'll work on that every day. You know, I always think for how good somebody tells you when somebody tells you how good you are, there's other people there doubting you, and I'm going to let our guys know about the doubters, and there's nothing wrong with that as well. There's a balance of that.
A different vein on the Mike Jones questions. Have you had any contact with Will?
Yeah, Texan.
Is he doing okay?
Yeah, yep.
Coach, you've been able to cut down nets. I think Darius and Mike G, probably the only other two guys on the team that won a conference championship. Do you talk at all what that feeling's like? Cut down the nets
just like playing, one play at a time, one snip at a time. That's it. You know, just takes everybody to do their job, and you know that's the part of playing on a team sport that you'll have that memory for a lifetime. But we got to worry about one play at a time before we get to one snip at a time.
You mentioned how much of a grind this time of the year is obviously, but how much fun is it for you as a head coach?
Oh, come on. I get paid to be a college basketball coach in March. Are you kidding me? It's pretty cool. It's fun being around the office with the staff, because they're as excited as you are. The players are. You know it's, you know, I've been fortunate. I've never had a real job. Well, I take that back. I taught 5th grade for a couple of weeks, and that was it. I've been so lucky to walk in the gym every day. That's been my job and my career and my passion. And you know, my family always, my mom and dad always said, if you can make a career out of your passion, you're a lucky guy. And I've been very fortunate to do that. But come on, are you kidding me? I walk in the gym in March, and our team's going to play and try to fight for a championship. It's pretty awesome.
Why only a couple weeks?
What's that?
Why only a couple weeks did you teach 5th grade?
Because it's 5th grade.
Yeah, I got cut. I played in France. I didn't make it. I came home to my hometown. My uncle was my high school coach. I said, I'll stick around and see if I can play again and figure something out. And I started, my mom was teaching at the high school, and I was a long-term sub doing some substituting. It was like $24 a day. A teacher got sick, and I taught 5th grade social studies and one period of 6th grade math. And I was in the basement corner classroom up in the junior high 3 blocks from where I grew up, and it was awesome being around the kids all day. But I remember coming home after a couple of weeks of doing that, and I said to my mom on a Friday, "I'm done." She said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I want to be a coach. I want to coach all the time." And she said they're going to call you in on Monday because they need a sub on Monday. So I'm out.